Now, it is possible that after you create it starts with a primitive component or a primitive object and add your code to it or add some behavior or some static to it, and you want to repeat that object in multiple locations in your game. You don't have to rewrite your code. You can use something that we call the prefabs, or for the prefabricated. So something is pre-made and then you create instances of it. It's the same concept of having a class and then create objects of it, but it's not a class. Okay, it's what we call the prefab object. Okay, now how would we do that? It's just simply go to the assets and create a directory called prefab. Prefabs for prefabricated, and just drag. Notice what happens once I put my cube in the prefabs directory. So I'm gonna drag it and drop it here. See what happened? Now it's color change, and now you have there is the template version of it. So it took that definition and turned it into a template that I can use to create multiple instances. Okay, so if I try to create an object from here, it will look exactly the same as it was before I changed it, and it's not associated to the code. Now, if I want a cube that I changed and associated with code, I can do that by dragging and dropping the prefabs from here. Okay, so I'm gonna drag and drop. Here's one, here's two. Now let's see, I didn't do anything other than just drag and drop. Now let's see if they are gonna behave the same. Obviously the dimensions are the same. Is the behavior going to be the same as well? As you can see, now the camera doesn't see the third one. But as you can see, the behavior came with it. Okay, so we turned the cube that we worked on into a template that we can use to recreate multiple instances of the same behavior, same look, same like the entire anything you put into that object will be repeated. Now we just need to work around to make sure that all the cubes are seen in the camera. But let's say we want to change something in all the instances. Now you see, I have 3 instances of the same template. If I change one of the instances, the change would go to that instance by itself. So let's say I'm going to create another material that is, let's say, green material. Okay, so something here, around here. Okay, I'm going to call this green. And then I'm gonna create another material that's purple so that we can see 2 types of changes that we can apply when we have a refabricated object. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna create a purple material, put something here. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna put the purple material on one of the instances here. So I'm gonna take this and put it there. Only one was affected, right? Now, if I want a change to be reflected in all of the instances, then I need to change the prefabricated object itself. So I go there, if I click here, to open the panel in which the prefabricated objects are shown. And then I go back to the materials, and let's say I'm gonna make them all green. Now, see, do you expect the 3 of them to be green, or only 2, or only 1? What do you expect? So when I change the instance, only the instance was affected. Now I'm changing the template. All 3 will be affected. So let's see. Now what happened here? I did make a change for that before so it kind of split it from the instances in terms of the material. Yeah, what's that? So the 2 green still have pointing to the material object that was part of the prefab.
Yeah. But the 2 green they're all the same type. The purples and the 2 greens are.
So 3 of them, let's run it. 3 of them are still instances of the prefab. I have the option to make a change that applies only in one instance, or I can have the option to make a change that apply on all of them. Because I separated it. Okay, so if I didn't separate it in one of the properties, like the script, for example, I didn't separate any of the instances in terms of the script. So the script still applies on all of them. So if I happen to change anything in the script, let's say I'm gonna make it run faster. So I'm gonna make it run with 500 times, 5 times the speed. And if I run it, they should all get faster. Okay, I want to change the location of this. Hopefully we can see it now. All of them should run faster unless I choose to separate one of them in terms of the script. So at this moment, all of them, okay, so this is how this should look like. Okay, but if I stop it, so let's say I don't want it to use the same script, I can go to it and go to the component part and deactivate the script. Okay, so now if I run it, so we can see it here, it's easier. Now this one, it is still an instance, it may share some properties, but because I separated the script part, now this instance is isolated in terms of the script part. Okay, all right, so this week we just try to play with the primitives to get the feel of how the dynamic work, and then we start make more sophisticated things next time. Thank you.